just thought I'd touch base. I'd just come for a walk, just bring you with me, just to see how things are. So, how was Crimbo? Was it alright? To me, it's a bit of a muchness. But yeah, it's for families, isn't it, really? But there you go. I'm just going to take a walk around all this area. I may as well just all this area has been redeveloped this year. This place, an old dry dock, but what they did when we had the City of Culture, they actually made it into a stage for performing. Yeah, you can see there. Is it still? Yeah, it's still holding some water in there. But yeah, so you could basically sit on there and look out. It's amazing how all this area has changed from once thriving market, a railway as well, all around here. Basically, railway docks was just up there. To now, all this is like bars. You've got all sorts of buildings. This is the old Humber Street. When I was a child, it was one of my dad's favourite things to come walking from our house on Hessel Road, and he'd come around and say, "Oh, this used to be buildings full of fruit and stuff, and it coming off the docks." Yeah, it's quite nice, this area. It's quite a trendy place. I'm not sure if the chat's on. Can't see, I don't know. Yeah, all this, so it was all part of the old fruit market, and it was all linked with railway lines all the way through the dock system, and you could get all the way from one of the end of the city to this end of the city via the docks, all the different swing bridges and railway lines. Middle Child, that's a performing arts place. I think they do comedy there and different gigs and whatever. It's a nice area. It's thriving around here in the summer because they're doing some, can't really see the marina now because they're doing some work on the old alongside the marina. I think like putting eating area. So that building there, Gibson, Bishop and Co, that's one of the original buildings. But this is a place called Thieving Harry's, and when you go in there, do you remember these? Look, they've got like old school benches and tables and that, and they'll start throwing those ones out. But upstairs they've got old gaming consoles, they've got old different types of sofas, the furniture you used to have in your old two-down kitchen. So here's one of the railway lines. Now this was discovered when they was doing all this public realms work, and this is a true story. I caught the workmen just ripping it out, and they was just going to bin it, and I said, you can't throw that, that's part heritage. So anyway, I went to the local media, I went to the BBC, and I got them involved, and I got some other people involved, and there was uproar, and then it was saved, but they didn't manage to save it all, but they saved this. Now the people concerned is going, oh, it's a health and safety hazard, it's this, it's that, which is absolute bullshit. I mean, it looks like the cobbles want resetting. Oh, there you can see there, look. Yeah, more public realms work, as they call it. It's beautiful around here, it's absolutely beautiful. So along here, there used to be a pub here called Pepe's. Brilliant place. But anyhow, I'm just going to take you a walk along here. Oh yeah. Nice along there, the stocks. Is the chat actually on? I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. So this dock and dock gates was rebuilt to turn this into a marina. I think it was the 80s, something like that. But this was the main port entrance from the River Humber, or the Humber estuary, through in the oldie wildy days. You used to go all the way up here and then through, and I don't know if you can see that monstrosity of a building over there. That's Prince's Quay. That was another dock, so there was gates across there, and then from the other side of Prince's Quay you had Monument Bridge, and at Monument Bridge led you into Queen's Dock. The Queen's Dock was the biggest in the UK at the time, and that used to lead you through back onto the River Hull, and you could leave again straight back around. Yeah, that's that. Oh dear, can't believe they've got traffic wardens working today. So you've got here, this is one of the old railway bridges. Shame it hasn't still got the tracks in situ, but it's swung. So you can see from there where the track beds would have been. There's the other half bit there. Yeah, it's not bad. Oh dear. Right, what have we got down here then? It's brisk this morning. Yes, so once upon a time they used to have this bridge open so you could just walk across it. So, and you can see here the old railway line going that way and round there. And on the other side of there, there's more railway lines. You can get yourself across by going across the pathway across here. There we go. And that office block there in the building, I'd have one of them rooms as an apartment, me. I just, yeah, even, not so much that one, I like the glass one better. But I used to have all the way around here. Can you see in the distance there? That's one of the old warehouses, what used to go along the dockside. Now along here, when I was a child, can I get up here? Oh dear. Yes, I can. there's the mouth to the Humber. Now as it happens, at high tide as it is now, you don't see all the mud and the silt and everything what's in here. But I always had a thing, I thought, why didn't they ever put another gate there? And then use this as a basin as well. So you've got a lot there, lot there, lot there. But when this is at low tide, it's well, it's just dirt and filth and mud, and it's all from the east coast, from that road in. These walls were built as defence. I can't remember what year it was, but there was a spring tide and a spring moon and all that bollocks, and the water came all over here, and my sister was living over there in the marina at the time, and the water just come piling over. So anyway, these walls got built. So one of the old what would you call them? Oh, I don't want to call it a ship anchor, but it would anchor the ship to the side, wouldn't it? And then you can see here, look, I like all this sort of stuff. The 3 crowns, Kingston upon Hull. And I don't care what people say about, if you're from Hull, it's Hull. It isn't, it's just laziness and just something they've used as an excuse. Sorry, but dear. The Minerva pub. That's a nice pub. There's some nice food in there, and it's all handcrafted beers. And all, you know, all on the old pump and that. We've actually got some fishermen out. Round here, when I was a boy, when I was a lad. So when I was a lad, there used to be a little hut, and it was somewhere in this facility, round about here, and it was a very small thing where you could come and get a choc ice, or you could get one of those squares of ice cream between a wafer. Yeah, I'm trying to think where it used to be. It was somewhere there. You can see the different coloured sets, but I'm not sure if that's the reasoning behind the different colour. Look at that bike. Little, I don't want to say what it is, because if I say the wrong thing, I'll get beat into a pulp. So this here, through here, you can see over there, that's the old Victoria Pier, or Corporation Pier as some people would call it. But the ferry used to go from there across to Barton before the Humber Bridge was built. So when the Humber Bridge was opened in 81, the ferry ceased to exist, which is a bit of a shame really. Yeah. So let's just walk around here a bit. This place is heaving in the summer. It's quite small inside, is that place. It's nice, it's beautiful. So what they have to do, they have that little bar there. No, I'm not sure if you can see. Try that. No. This is old Victorian toilet block. I'm not going to go in there because I'm not one who frequents toilets, but it's actually a listed structure. Oh dear. So this used to be the Pier Cafe. It's called the Oswash now, and there's a story behind that. But this wants some major work doing on it, and I reckon, unless it's funded, it'll do. But I'm sure the cafes to run all the way along here, onto here, and then the pier, as it was at the time, it was actually a double-decked pier. There's lots of pictures online of the city with the old Victorian pier. You've got all these old maritime buildings. Now that one there in front, dated 1880, that is the only place in the UK where you can buy a train ticket and not catch a train. And that is because it used to be the Hull Corporation Piers office for the ferry. Now the ferry was taken over by British Railways in whatever year it was. So you could go in there, buy a ticket, but not actually catch a train. Anyway, there you go, there's something else. So this down here, this is what the people of Hull would call the Oswash. Now there's pictures online of this as well, but what the traders used to do with the horses and carts and everything else, they would bring them down here and rinse them off in the dirty, filthy river Humber. Yeah, we call it the Oswash. The building there, that is the UK's only submarine, and basically that is a fish tank from the top to the bottom. And what you've got there, you've got all the different fish what live at different depths in the sea, and you've got tropical, you've got Icelandic, or whatever you want to call it, really cold places where fish want to hang out. Oh dear me. It's a crisp morning. That there, the South Bank, that's called Lincolnshire. You might have heard of it. A few statues around here. That one over there is Francis de Paul. And this one, I think this points directly to Iceland or something. I think it's to commemorate our trading thing we used to do. Actually, there we go, look, there's a compass. Due south, east, north and west. And this is, yep, Iceland. 1,534 kilometres. I don't know why the arrow's pointed that way, because Iceland is not that way. It's bound to say that on here. Voyage and a sister sculpture in Vik on the south coast of Iceland. There you go. Oh, hello. I didn't think the chat was actually working. So Harry said hello, hi. Number 2 in my chat. What's that say? Chaff, I ain't got my reading glasses. Have I got them on me? No, yeah, looks like. Anyway, hi. And then hi to Pat. Hi Pat, how are you doing? How's your Christmas? Oh dear. Yeah, I just come out for get some air. But, yeah, so a bit ago I was showing you the old lock gates there. They don't look too pretty from this side, but it has had the concrete poured in. So that big thing you can see there, that is actually the tidal barrier. And when there's a risk of high tides and the River Hull breaching its banks, they lower that, so then we can piss the water off somewhere else, save it coming into our city. Look at all these old buildings. Look at this, one of the old warehouses. Look at the archways. It's been pinned. See the black pins there? They'll go all the way through the building. And you can see how much weather this corner's had. Look at that. The state of it. You're right, Pat. It is bloody freezing. Hello, Elizabeth. Not sure I've seen you on one of my chats before. You're one of my subscribers. This isn't my usual thing, this, but I'm just, what can we say, getting some air. I'm not much of a people person this time of year. Excuse me. Yeah, it's fresh, Pat. I should have put a hat on. There's another one of our new bridges. I can't say I've ever seen it. To be fair, I don't even think we get any tidal traffic anymore anywhere. Yeah, I'm fine, Elizabeth. Are you? How was Christmas for you? Well, you're the number one in my chat. Mind you, there isn't that many people in chat, so. You have to excuse me barking, but this cold air is getting right to my lungs. Cool. Hope you had a good Christmas. Are you in the UK? If I was a bird spotter, I'd know what those birds were there, wouldn't I? Yep, definitely birds. I didn't realise that was on there. I've just walked past there. So on that building ahead, I'll just take a little walk down here, but I am going to walk back up. Arco, you might have heard of Arco. Big company in the health and safety world for safety equipment. So can you see that there? So around the city, these moths were placed in memory of Amy Johnson, first female solo pilot to fly across the world. I think it was to Oz or something like that. There's a statue of her in the city centre. She flew a moth basically, and so to commemorate her and her achievements, they put moths all over the city. So we've had Larkin's toads, we've had Amy Johnson's moths. Yeah. There's a barrier. I swear there are times when you can actually go up there. I've never been up there. I wouldn't mind. Yeah, but this is the first time I've ever walked across this this bridge. That sun just popping out from behind there. That deep's a magnificent structure. If you've never been to the deep, get yourself over. Get yourself a family ticket, and then that's valid for the full year. So you can go home and you can come back again without having to pay a second time. What's my favourite food? Oh, I like my lasagna, to be honest. Yeah, I like a nice lasagna. I like my pasta dishes. I do like to cook a bit myself and bake, so I have been known to do that. I've not done any for a while though. Ooh, it's fresh. All these cars on here. I've got my car in a car park, and I didn't think there would be people out potentially ticketing. The deep, it's never opening, is it? Because there's actually just people in there.